For the fans. For the players. For all the news. Firebirds Weekly. This week's guest is Morris Joseph Jr.
Picks up enough yards for the first down. So it's a first down for Kentucky. Under 9 minutes to go in this first quarter. Spencer drops back. And he is going to be swallowed up and taken down as it was Joseph Morris who swallows up Shea Spencer. And Spencer is sacked. Not a huge loss as Spencer kind of got back to the line of scrimmage. But, guys, this game is going to be won and lost in the trenches. And Albany's defensive line making a big play there with the newly acquired Joseph Morris.
Welcome to Firebirds Weekly. We are live here on a Tuesday night at Cugino's Pizzeria in Rensselaer. And my name is Adam Samarov. And my co-host, Chris Ipperly, over there. And in between us is not Joseph Morris. Andy Santillo needs to do better at his job. In fact, we do have new acquired talent. And as you can see, a big talent. Morris Joseph Jr. Morris, how are we doing this evening, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, for sure. We're excited to have you on, too. And, yeah, it's a beautiful sunny day. We haven't had too many of those lately. So
I agree with you on that.
Yeah. Let's, bye week. Tell me about your journey, to get up here to Albany this last couple of weeks and, joining the team and, being able to get used to your new teammates.
I love it so far. I play with Zachar in the Bay Area in the IFL. So just him being here, Marcus, he came and played there after the season last year. So just having some familiar faces. And one of my best friends from college, O'Brien Goodson, he came and played here. So he kind of laced me up on everything about Coach Ware and Coach Cisse. So it kind of made sense. Like I knew it was a good opportunity. So.
All right. I appreciate that. So we wanted to, before we get really going, well, first off, we have this jersey here in front of you, and we are raffling off a jersey similar to what we did with the helmet last year, raising more than $1,000 for the Center for Disability Services here in the Capital Region. So that was a very big deal, and we want to go round two and even raise more than that for the center. And Morris is going to be our first signee for our jersey. So if you don't mind taking that Sharpie. And it'll be like signing day back in the day.
Absolutely, a long time ago.
A long time ago. Thank you for doing that. And we are going to try to, get out to get everybody to sign that, coaches included. And raffle tickets for the jersey will be sold online. There's a link on all our different social medias, Instagram, Facebook, etc. And tickets are also going to be sold at the next 3 home games through Flock Support. So Steve and Denise and the rest of the crew for Flock Support, we thank them for helping us with that.
Oh, it's going to be pretty great. So when you look on our socials, there's a description and there's a Microsoft form. That form collects your name, phone number, and email address, and then from there we'll contact you to take care of the electronic version of the ticket purchase. So
how much are the tickets?
$5.
$5.
Yep.
So you get $5 for a chance to win a game worn 2025 AF1 Albany Firebirds white and orange jersey.
Yeah, no, it should be great. We had a huge success last year with the helmet, so we're excited to get everybody to sign up this year. And yeah, we're up and running. We had our first dozen or so tickets sold today, so we're doing pretty good. So we're excited to kind of, give back. The community, the Center for Disability Services does amazing work.
They absolutely do, and they a long time. And we want to, like I said, we raised over $1,000 last year. We want to hit that and more this year. So, buy your tickets, $5. It should be pretty cool. Secondly, so we did not have a show last week, and there is a reason for that. We, as you guys have seen, the other parts of our Opportunity Knocks, where we looked at different parts of the offense and defense and sat down and talked to guys. And, that was a pretty successful thing and people really liked it. And this weekend we actually filmed the final part, which we're calling the round table. Mm-hmm. And we sat down with Coach Ware, Coach Cisse, Coach Hobbs, and Coach Gooch. And, got real, got a chance to talk to these guys, what camp was like, and then obviously the last 6 weeks. And Morris being new, you weren't a part of that process, but we wanted to play a little bit of a clip that we're using. And do I have said clip?
Yes. Yep. Scroll down to the bottom. The opportunity knocks round table bottom left.
Oh, okay. Opportunity knocks.
It's a minute 8.
Come on, man. Opportunity knocks. Here we go. I got it. See, I can do this thing. All right. So watch this clip and see what we're up to, and we'll come back in about a minute.
Who's the biggest trash talker on the team?
I'll go DT.
I was about to say.
Yeah, probably DT. Darren Townsend. Yep.
I'd say Isaiah Hardy.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Holy shit. Hey, Drew too. Drew is crazy.
Isaiah Hardy's definitely one of those clowns.
Singleton as well. Singleton is that guy.
Coach Hobbs. If you don't know Coach Hobbs,
That's a good answer.
it's him.
Good answer.
I love him, bro. Love him, bro.
That's a good answer. Probably Whitley.
Whitley was definitely one of them.
Probably Whitley.
Brandon Nicholson's really kind of not super, extroverted. He's very, very simple and, only says what he needs to say. Yeah.
Morris Joseph. Morris Joseph.
Yeah, Mojo.
Mojo.
Yeah, Morris Joseph definitely has those type of intellectual-based conversations for sure. Drew Singleton.
For sure.
So that's a little sneak peek of the roundtable, the final part of the Opportunity Knock series. And, you saw those things. Who's the biggest trash talker, introvert, extrovert, all those kind of cool questions. And then, we asked them, most intellectual, not even football, just overall. And they said, what do you think about that? Knowing that you haven't been around a long time, but you've already endeared yourself to Coach Ware and the rest.
That's a big deal. That actually make me pretty excited. I try to make sure I do things that last outside of football only, just taking the job and being in tech. It was just something I was missing, the brotherhood of just being around your guys, and the atmosphere of a locker room is that can't be duplicated. So those are the things I was really missing the most.
So how was it for you coming in to have a very established team, meaning 16 in a row wins, and just trying to fit in and not trying to, break the mold?
It's 18.
18.
Yeah, remember they made a big deal about it because that's the record is 18, I think.
I think whatever.
Anyway,
it's a lot of wins.
12 last year, 6 this year.
Yeah, it's
18.
right. You're right. Yeah, it is 18. Yep.
Football is the easy part, for me. I don't really go anywhere and try to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
I go everywhere and be myself, and I'm a winner, naturally. So I always fit in with winners. So it was great to come into a winning culture. Brotherhood strong, the fan base strong, and we have great coaches. So I'm happy to be here again. So.
Yeah, and we like it, obviously. We look at the transactions and guys are in and out. I mean, and we talk about this in the roundtable again, which you guys will see here in a couple of weeks once we get it all taken, all done and everything. There's been so many injuries this year, and guys have been, in and out and down, and IR and stuff like that. So, what does it mean to you to be able to help, bring this team a championship and be, one of the pieces of the machine that does it?
I'm definitely one of those guys that's 1 week at a time, but I just want to keep getting better every week, going out there with the guys and dominating. We haven't played our best brand of ball yet since I've been here, so I'm ready to see us, go out and just, just execute it all the way.
Tell me a little bit. We usually do this to them, but I'm going to do the beginning. Tell me a little bit about, getting the call from Coach Ware and being able to come up here. Obviously, you had a little bit of international indoor experience with the IFL. Talk about, just getting the call and hey, we want you to come to Albany.
So getting the call, it was good initially because I was trying to figure out okay, what I'm going to do, where I'm going to go play at. And whenever I talked to Coach Ware, it was easy. I actually made the decision way early on. I signed pretty early to come, and not coming during camp, I was missing it so bad. I was seeing all the guys here. Mm-hmm. They were going through the workouts. They were kind of, getting to it. And I was actually in Asia for work. So,
oh, wow.
So I was man, I have to get back out there. I actually saw Coach Ware and Coach Cisse whenever they were in Houston. I came with Chambers, so I was like, you know what, I got to get back on the field, and I was itching. I was itching to get back out there. So
That's a cool story. So what brought you to Asia? Like what?
You got to be pretty high powered if you had to go to Asia for work.
So I was working with a company, pre-security. We could predict cyber attacks before they happen with AI assistance. So,
is that what you went to school for, like cybersecurity and stuff like that?
Actually, no, I didn't go to school for that. Just being in Silicon Valley, I just end up meeting some pretty cool people, and I just got blessed with the opportunity, and I learned a lot, and it's been amazing. So
awesome. Well, so you end up, here in Albany now, and you were in California and Silicon Valley before, but you started in Orange, Texas.
Yeah.
Talk about growing up in Texas and how football is a completely different beast than it is up here in the Northeast.
It's a different beast. We're super competitive there. In my family, we had no choice but to be competitors. I don't care if we're playing tic-tac-toe. Like, I'm not going to lose, and my mom's that way, my dad's that way.
No ties, damn it.
Cousins, everyone. So, yeah. I wouldn't let my grandma beat me.
So tell me, how you got involved in football, like dad, coach or whatever, who kind of got you into the game and when, was it super early or, were you into school at that point?
Growing up, I was really a basketball guy. I basically did anything like with a ball, but basketball was always my first love. And just with Earl Thomas being my first cousin, I always loved football, but seeing him make it let me know hey, I can actually do that. This is someone I know, someone that actually inspired me.
Like it's almost tangible, right? Like you see a guy and you don't have any idea, but you're like, oh, okay, that guy made it. And you're like, but now this is the guy I actually, I know who he is. He's my, relation, and he made it.
Absolutely.
Talk about, you play in high school at West Orange Stark High School down there. Tell me a little bit about, was it a small school, big school? Tell me about your experience playing in Texas, and then what happens, kind of as you're going through and the recruiting process, because I always like to know that with you guys.
It was a 4A school.
So middle size then, basically?
Middle size.
Okay.
My high school is the winningest in the state of Texas by win percentage. We've been winning there for a long time. We hadn't been to the state championship for a while before we went my sophomore year. And,
where is, I'm sorry to break it, but where about, what's a big metro city that would be near?
It's the 409 Texas. It's the Golden Triangle. So I'm about 5 minutes from Louisiana. The closest major city is Houston, and it's right there, Southeast Texas. So you have Beaumont, Texas.
Okay, so that explains why you were in Beaumont. Yeah.
Texas. So the ballers come out of there for sure. It's a different area for sure.
But yeah, so so continue. Tell me about playing in high school and then just being a part of that atmosphere.
Everyone in my hometown, we live for football on Friday nights. It's just different. The entire town shuts down. It basically turns to a ghost town when the playoffs come. No one's at home. Everyone's on the road wherever the game is.
Yeah.
So high school football is exactly what people say it is there. So that was some of the most amazing times of my life for sure.
I mean, you watch the Friday Night Lights and that kind of stuff, and you're like, oh, that's just, maybe that's just TV. No, that's the real deal. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's actually the real deal. And I don't come from a town where you're going to get greeted too kindly when you come back from a loss. We didn't lose too often, and I don't even think. Well, we definitely went 16-0 my senior year, and we won back-to-back state championships. After losing as a sophomore, seeing some of the guys that were mentors to me, go out crying, even though they were on their way to major schools, SEC schools, I was like, okay, we don't want to finish like that, So just had to learn from that feeling. Remember how it feels to lose in a big one, and we just used that as fuel, and it helped us out.
So do you guys actually play at AT&T?
Yeah.
For the championship. So both of us, as we talked about before we started, we're both Cowboys fans. That must have been something else to be able to play on that field and, do that as a Cowboys fan.
That was really cool to play our state championships there. I believe it was my junior year or my sophomore year. We played it. Well, we had a couple playoff games at the Reliant in Houston.
In Houston, right? The Astrodome, I guess, or what it used to be.
Yeah, it used to be Astrodome. They tore it down, so now you just have the NRG right there.
Yep. So, tell me about, how football kind of was like, okay, senior, I'm in a big school, you're seeing friends of yours, go to the Four Winds in terms of big SEC schools and that. Tell me about your process to say, okay, I'm going to take football to the next level.
It was actually like my sophomore year. I was on varsity. Mostly played O-line that year.
Good man.
Defensively, I didn't get it going too much. We had some older guys. We had a lot of older guys kind of going, and I've definitely played at a high school where it was like sometimes you have to wait your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I was too keen on that. I remember so many times I'm like, pops, like this is not it. But super faithful guy, super religious man. So he was just like, hey, whatever goal I have for you, it'll work out. So my junior year, things got a lot better for me, and my senior year, I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna take it to a totally different level. Because I remember being the guy that would see guys that have certain offers or whatever, like, I'm taking their lunch. Every time I see them, I'm going to make sure they feel me. And that's what I did every time. And eventually I was the guy that people wanted to come and try to make a name off of me. And like I said, I'm not letting my grandma make a name off of me. So.
See, I'm an assistant coach up here, and I try to tell the kids stuff like that. Like, just because he's older than you, just because he's a little bit bigger than you, just give me 110 and we'll see what happens. We'll see if you may end up getting the spot at that point.
That means nothing where I'm from,
Oh, I hear you. But so tell me about you go through your senior year. Obviously you guys are extremely successful as a team. Tell me about the process of going to college and what you had to go through for that.
Okay, so I ended up going to UTSA. I got to play as a true freshman alongside Marcus Davenport. I got recruited by Eric Henderson. He was Aaron Donald D-line coach for a long time in the lead, and he was just a dog. He was a guy that was from New Orleans, and he was still a young coach at the time. And like just the camaraderie that I built with him, like when he would come and visit, like for like in-house visits or whatever, like I just flat out clicked with him. He loved the way that I was a dog, and he didn't try to like shy away from it or like get me to like box it up a little bit. If anything, he promoted it.
He wanted to be you.
So it was easy for me to make that decision. Unfortunately, choosing to go there, he ended up taking a job in the lead directly after that. So I didn't stay at UTSA too long. I ended up going JUCO. I was at Iowa Western for a semester. And then I went on to University of Memphis. Had some great years there up under Coach Mike Norvell era. I was there up under Coach Silverfield as well. So we had some great times there. That's where I like really made my name in college football for sure. And I went on and transferred, went to Auburn. So
yeah, and doing the graduate route, and being able to go from one Tiger to another, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Talk about you say you made the decision to go to UTSA, so you kind of stay pretty close to home in terms of that. What was it like to go to Iowa, and what it just seems to me like it's like another country, another world at that point. What was it like, being able, going, okay, I'm going to go to the JUCO route, whether for football or for school or whatever. Talk about just that transition of like, okay, I'm leaving what I know and going to corn country.
It was different for me for sure. So initially I was like, okay, if I'm going to do the JUCO route, I'm just going to stay in Texas. I don't have to leave Texas for JUCO. Like everyone come to JUCO in Texas as well. But Iowa Western were like a top rated JUCO at the time. And they had the number one D lineman in the country. Turned out to end up, we're like brothers now, but he was the number one guy in the country. And I said, hey, wherever the dog's at, I'm going.
Right.
Like, hey, dogs don't eat with cats. And the way that D-line work, we all eat together. So wherever the dog's at, I'm coming because I know that people are going to see me. I know that I'm going to do what I do. So,
and then, after you do that for a semester or a year, then you go back and, this is before NIL, the last couple of years where you can pretty much do whatever you want because it's the Wild West, which is a whole nother show. But talk about, going to Memphis, Conference USA, obviously great football.
American Conference.
It was an American
Yeah.
Well, F me. The All American Conference. But it's I guess they would consider it mid-major, whatever football. But I mean, it's obviously great football, and it's talk about your decision to go there, and obviously it was something that you liked because you stayed there for pretty much the entire rest of your college career.
It was amazing. The culture, the people, the locker room, the brotherhood. You had to be a dog to play there. I literally showed up 7 days before the Ole Miss game. Camp was always almost like midway through, and I came in, I played. I initially got to play early. I got into it, get there. So it was a great experience for me, especially like Coach Mike Norvell being a Texas guy himself. Like he liked dogs, and he promoted it. So it was amazing for me. I fitted in perfect there. It was dogs. Everyone was just like me. So
it just seems like everywhere you go, it seems like winning follows because as a sophomore there, you go 12-2, end up in the obviously the bowl as well. 8-3 as a junior, but that was a weird season because of COVID being that 2020 year. Just winning follows you, and obviously coming to Albany is no different.
Yeah, it just comes down to the culture. Like usually you can go somewhere and you can tell the culture. Just about talking with Coach Ware, talking with Coach Cisse, I already knew what the environment would be like. I already knew what we would work like, and I believe if you put in the work, the wins follow. You do the little things, everything else take care of themselves. So I'm super big on being attention to details and doing things that way. Like that's just the way that it was, at my high school, and just being a Texas guy. And my time at Memphis, was super amazing for me. Just because I don't care who it was, no one was coming into the Liberty Bowl and beating us. I never lost to an SEC school while I was at Memphis, by the way. Had to throw that out there.
You get that for CSA's Texas Tech and all that. But okay, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I think
So Big 12, whatever.
I think that's a good message, though, in terms of treating the game with respect, giving the game what it deserves in terms of doing things the right way. I mean, to me, as long as you do those things, I mean, the football god should be smiling on you, and hopefully, like you said, do the right things. The wins come along with it.
Yeah, I always say we don't have to do it. We get to do it.
Yep.
If God bless you with opportunity, you shouldn't just step on it. That's a blessing. So
yep, I agree. Respect the game. That to me, that's the biggest thing. I mean, going back to my coaching days, that was always my biggest challenge, was getting people to understand is not everybody has a chance to do what you're doing. And as you said, don't step on it.
Absolutely.
I can't use the words that I want to use right now, but yeah, no, I'm with you on 100%.
Yeah. We've had guys over the years where it's like they got so much talent, but they just get in their own way. Don't let it happen, and that's a great message for the kids too. Like the kids today, it's like go to class, do what you got to do. Don't be an idiot. And your athletic talents will bring you places.
Absolutely.
So in 2021, as a senior, I did want to ask about this. So in our research, it said that you guys ended up playing UTSA. That had to be a fun experience. Yes. What kind of was that kind of interesting to be like, oh, I'm playing the guys that I was with, 2-3 years ago.
That was a great experience for me. It was kind of crazy because, I came in with those guys as freshmen. I saw the vision, early on, and just to see those guys get it going and UTSA turn in to what it turned into at the time. And you got Spencer Buford out there and Tyreek Woolen. They went on to, dominate in the league, not just be there. It was amazing to see guys that, that I initially decided to play with. And Frank Harris, he was the quarterback there for a long time. So those were my guys. That's the reason I decided to go there for sure.
And then, you go through your senior season, is it at that point after the season, are you like, okay, I'm gung ho now. Like I want to do a pro day. I want to do a combine, I want to go to the league. Obviously that's the goal for everybody. Absolutely. Is to go to the league. Tell me about your decision or how it happened that you ended up transferring to Auburn to do, would go for graduate school.
Yeah. So, actually, I kind of came down to a few schools. I knew I wanted to make a relationship-based decision. So I was actually sticking with, I was either going to Texas Tech, where the GM there, James Blanchard, that's family to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually had committed to Georgia Tech. I have a lot of family in Atlanta, and Coach David Turner being there, it was just a perfect opportunity for me. And head coach at the time, he was Dak's OC at Mississippi State. So it was just a lot of connections. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a decision based off of like relationships, and I decided to take the Auburn visit just to take the visit,
Sure.
honestly. And
I probably would have done the same thing. To be
just
honest
something
with you.
about the culture there.
Yep.
Once I went, I mean, like it's great history.
War Eagle and all
It's
that.
nothing like it, man. War Eagle.
No, it's really not
Brotherhood
fair when
is
you compare
different.
the tradition of the two schools. That's not even in the same breath. I mean,
Yeah.
not even a blip on a radar. Georgia
So-
Tech in comparison to what Auburn's met to the whole game.
Yeah, so showing up there, it was easy. It was an easy decision. I was like, hey, you know what? It's just a different feeling. It's nothing like playing in that stadium.
I was going to say that was the question. Bryant Denny.
Brian Denny.
Yeah. Look, yes, I'm talking about both of them because I like that's such a great rival. It's one of the greatest rivalries in sports. What is it like to play in that rivalry? In both places, Alabama and Auburn.
It's nothing like it. Like, I mean, I didn't know the magnitude of it until I got there.
Mm-hmm.
It's really kind of undescribable. Like when it comes to like words. Like I've played in like a lot of different rivalry games, but nothing like that one. It's totally different, especially the fans. Like everyone asks me like, what's the difference between the SEC and the other places? The fans are pretty different and pretty unique, kind of like the way that we are, the way that our fans are here compared to like other arena teams. So
We had Kadir on a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about playing at Ole Miss and the whole thing, and he said the same thing. Like it's just a different world than anywhere else to play football.
Well, I'm glad you said something about the fans in here in Albany too, because I mean we watch the games. Obviously, we don't have an opportunity to go to the games in terms on the road, and it is a welcomed thing seeing the fans really get after you guys in a positive way at home. You're 2 games in. You had 1 game in Albany and then 1 game in forget the city.
Saginaw.
Thank you.
Saginaw, Michigan.
In Michigan. Not exactly very comparable, at least in my opinion, in terms of fan engagement. So, how much are you looking forward to not finally, but playing next week? Or actually, in 6 days? No, 5 days.
How many days? 5 days.
No, it's 4 days.
How many days? 4 days. Okay.
Yeah, it's hard with all this time off with the holidays. Got me all screwed up.
It's all me else. Yeah.
But being able to go back to MVP Arena and play in front of the fans again.
Amazing. Amazing. The atmosphere was different. I loved it. So I'm looking forward to, being there, and the guys and I putting on the show, the fans here deserve it. So it's different whenever you can play for the guy next to you. You can play for your coaches. But whenever you have like a community involvement and everyone supporting you, it's easy to, play for everyone that supports us, because it's a lot of support that we get, a lot of businesses, a lot of people extending their time. And so we appreciate that.
Well, just like Cugino's here tonight, and then flock support. I mean, coming in here, he must have been like, "You for real? Like these people are going to help me? Like how did that kind of take you, off balance a little bit?"
Yeah, it was different. You don't really get embraced like this in a arena or indoor ball sector, not too often. So it's usually a couple, but here it seems like we have a very, very, very large community. A lot of people want to pour into it, so that's amazing.
I want to go back real quick, just talk about leaving Auburn. Tell me what your plans were, and then talk about kind of going from the outdoor game to the indoor game, and what kind of transition that was for you.
So initially, I just got straight into training, and I got offered an opportunity in the CFL. And initially, I kind of was like, that wasn't the plan. The plan was always NFL, and I was thinking like, okay, I would love to do the UFL route. And unfortunately, like the UFL option that I had kind of fell through, and
as it did for many of the Albany Firebirds.
Absolutely. So
where were you supposed to go?
So now I'm reaching back out, and I'm kind of like, so all of that kind of fell through, and I kind of just took like a break where I was just chilling, like wasn't really back on the field. And I got a call from Coach Keefe, who was originally here like a long time ago.
Yeah, 18.
Yeah. So once I got a call from him, I was like, you know what? I want to put the pads back on, and I've been in the indoor game since, and indoor arena. You have a lot of ballers in it for sure. Like a lot of guys that actually, have what it take and didn't, just get the right opportunity. So,
I mean, when we talk to the guys, it's, COVID kind of screwed things up, or they got injured before the combine, or, pro day didn't work out, or, the small school thing, as soon as you, say that, but like, again, with you and Kadir, for example, you got that big school thing. You can say, yes, I was to Memphis and I was at Auburn and all that. And, but just anything, it could be anything at that point. And, that's where you end up and you make the best of, what you need to do. And, what's been some of the differences for the indoor game that you've had to get used to between when you were in the IFL and here?
Just having a better understanding of the game. Like, you hear like different things, like in comparison about like how you get like true 101s and all of these different things. Just me coming in like early on and showing that like I could like actually dominate in the middle. I'm actually like, because Cisse spending a lot of time with me to get me to understand like the different type of schemes that people are going to try to do to like try to attack me. So just kind of like getting an understanding of that. So I've been in the lab this week because Cisse kind of like we did a little film study. He kind of pointed out some of the things that people are trying to do. So I'm ready to put on a show and put out there where we practice. So
It sounds like you've picked up a lot of knowledge in a very short period of time you've been here.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a different game. It's totally different than the IFL. Like there's a lot of things that's different, especially the way that the fullbacks are used in this game.
Yep.
If I'm killing a center out there, it's like,
It's game over.
yeah, you just what you gonna do?
Right.
But here they're just gonna. It's a different type.
Yeah,
of
just throw another guy at you. You know what I mean?
Right. And it ends up being 4-on-3 at that point.
Yeah.
What is it like working with Coach Cisse? Obviously, he's a Texas Tech guy. He could put on the pads now and be just fine. He would be just as good as everybody on the line that he has in his room. What is it like working with him in terms of like watching film and just getting that knowledge from a guy who, did it, has done it, and is very, extremely knowledgeable at the defensive line position?
He's a legend in this space. He won a lot of rings here. I do have to talk a little noise to him though. Hey, you said that he could come out there, Coach. You ain't.
Hey,
you
to
ain't
me
gonna
that's
get
the
me
case.
right now, Coach.
To me, that's the case.
No, but
Maybe not to
seriously,
you guys.
he's a high energy guy. That's why I wanted to come here. I love how hard he coached.
I can't do it, but he'll make fun of me now probably because I was trying to do a celebration.
I love how hard he coached. So I can imagine how he was as a player. I saw like some highlights of him at Texas Tech, but he's a high energy guy. He coach you hard, and I'm from the South, so I love that. That's what I thrive in. Push me to be better, hold me accountable, because I'm hard on myself. I'm gonna hold myself accountable. I still remember those times where my mom was like, "Hey, play sluggish," so I made sure that ain't happen again. So,
what were you, 8 when that happened?
Well, here's the cool part about Cisse. I mean, there's a lot of good things, obviously, but I think we talked about this before. To me, being at some of the practices, obviously, I'm not all of them. I feel like this coaching staff is a really good blend of personalities.
absolutely.
I think everybody brings something different to the table. Obviously, Coach Ware, is Coach Ware. Then you have, all the other coaches. But I feel like each coach kind of approaches things slightly differently, but all have the same goal. So I think that really resonates with just about everybody because people need to see and hear things differently depending on their personality sometimes.
I actually respect that a lot. Like all of our coaches here, like, are amazing. Just the fact that everyone, are still themselves as individuals.
Yes. Yep.
And I think that's important. Some places that get lost. Everyone's their self, and they all work great together. Like they push each other, they hold each other accountable as well. It's just like the brotherhood amongst, like the players. Like
I agree.
you have to be able to be checked by anybody, and that's kind of how they are with each other. So I think that's a good thing.
One thing I wanted to ask too is after this football thing ends, however long that goes on, hopefully for many years, what's your plans for after football?
So actually, like, I never wanted to be one of the guys that like kind of just put my life on pause for football.
Okay.
I love football. That's the reason why I played. But I'm actively like, living my life right now. I'm actively doing things that like, like put me ahead in life as well. But, hopefully I handle my business and get to a place where football really
Can be
really
it.
takes the
Right.
front seat again.
Sure.
So.
I wanted to go back a quick second though, just because we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but I wanted to kind of put it out there to the forefront because I think it's interesting that you said that Earl Thomas, was your cousin, and you have family connections to Dak Prescott and some of these guys that have been in the league, have been stars in the league. Did that change your thought in terms of growing up and knowing those guys and being like, hey, like this is a tangible thing to me? These are guys that I know that did it kind of change your thought of like, I know I can be that?
For sure. Like I said, I give a lot of credit to where I'm from. Being from Orange, Texas, it's different. Like a lot of people don't really understand like the grit that I play with and the way that I'm able to really be a dog and work hard. But if they visited, where I'm from, they would kind of understand. Like that's just what football is. Where I'm from, we have a long tradition of guys before me, and I was influenced by those guys, and there's a long tradition of guys that was influenced by me. That's playing at a high level right now. So it's just a tradition, just like you have a tradition here. Anytime you have a winning culture, you have guys growing up like are aspiring to be like the people that was before them. So that's just what it comes down to.
Well, like I said, we have definitely a winning culture happening right now. 18 wins in a row, and hopefully 19 comes this Saturday, the 30th at MVP Arena against the Oceanside Bombers. And just to add a couple of things, talk about the raffle again. Morris just signed the jersey. He's our first signee, and more will be coming, and that will be tickets are on sale for $5 for that. The drawing will be July 11th at the final home game this year for the Firebirds. And so we're looking forward to Saturday's game. And we look forward to talking to you again. Pregame show is going to be at 6:00 on Saturday. We are going to have Tom Goslowski and Andy Santillo, the announcers and broadcasters for AF1, on our pregame show. We're looking forward to that.
Yep, and we'll be sure to make sure that he gets his name right.
We will get his name right. It is Morris Joseph, not the other way around.
I wonder if he got a roster and the name was transposed.
I was only here for
what I mean?
2 or 3 days.
Yes, I bet you he got one.
Some grace, man.
Well, yeah, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt on this one. So, but yes, Morris Joseph Jr., thank you very much for coming on, and we look forward to seeing how you do on Saturday.
All right, thank you, man. We're going to kill it. I can't wait to get out there with the guys. So.
All right, let's do it then.
All right. We'll see you later on.